Not Everything is Simple by Kerrie Walker of Crestwood, 2620. Narrated by Janine Penfold. Sometimes things can be very hard to understand. Be they words, concepts, imaginings or beliefs, not everyone will understand them exactly the same way. Experience, knowledge and their interaction in the mind can change or alter a concept very quickly, given the right circumstances. Imagine a classroom for Year 2 students. It is a week after the start of the school year, and the students are adjusting to the change of expectations at being in a Year 2 class. The weather is sultry, and some of the children are thinking longingly of the school holidays, so recent to memory. Today, class, we will be divided into groups to talk about something, the teacher announced, her voice firm. A small buzz of whispered conversation was quelled as she raised her hand. I know it is exciting to be able to talk in class, but wait until you know how this is to be done. You will be in groups of 5, and we will all be thinking and talking about celebrating diversity. As she spoke, she wrote the 2 strange words on the whiteboard. There was a stunned silence as students turned to each other with their confusion apparent on their faces. What did the words mean? Now, I will quickly explain what is meant by those 2 words. A knock at the door interrupted the teacher, who quickly answered. A hushed conversation resulted in a terse announcement. I need to leave the classroom for a few minutes. Mr. Ong will stay here while I am gone, but you could begin by discussing your understanding of celebrating diversity in the groups you were in last week, Ms. Black said as she left. There was a brief silence, quickly broken by the shuffle of chairs as the groups obeyed the instruction under the critical eye of Mr. Ong. None of the students really knew the new teacher, who had only started at the school that year, but all were wary. There was a quiet hum of conversation, but one group were not happy, aside from the chance to talk during class. Why do we have to talk about words we don't understand? Was Mai's first question. Mai seemed to question anything, sometimes just for fun. I think they are more than words, Jess said carefully. Words mean something, don't they? Words are just words, jeered Jamal. You use them to say things. But the things you say mean something, Jess persisted. Words have to mean something or we couldn't talk to each other. Jess is right. You always try to take charge, Jamal, Mai said as she glared at Jamal. They were not friends. As expected, Andrew decided to try to take over. Look, I know what celebrating is. It is something religious. Mum said they went to a wedding and a celebrant married the people. Celebrants marry people. There was a very short silence, finally broken by the quietest member of the group. You were wrong. My grandfather had a birthday party last week and we were told we were celebrating it. Iris sounded very sure of herself. A wedding? A birthday? That must mean a party. So it's a party about diversity? Jamal crowed. See? I worked it out. But what is diversity? Asked Mai. Die means dead. Andrew was certain in his tone. Nup. My mum dyes her hair black, Mai said. It could mean both or neither, Jess said after some thought. Verse? Isn't that like nursery rhymes? Nursery rhymes are for babies. I am not a baby, Jamal said angrily, taking it personally as usual. Iris spoke again, shocking the rest of her group. Verse is also poetry. Remember we had to read poems at assembly last year? An ominous silence fell. No one wanted to remember about the poetry. They had been teased by the older age groups, but they had no choice. And a city is a large place where people live, Andrew said triumphantly. "Wow, Andrew. No one else knew that," was Mai's jeering comment. He glared at her for a moment and then tried to pretend he hadn't. "It's a party about hair or death which has poetry in a city," was Jess's hesitant guess. "Or is it a dead city which uses poetry to celebrate?" Mai seemed uncertain for a change. "They both sound weird. Why are we talking about weird stuff?" Andrew said loudly and was quickly shushed by Mr. Ong. The group was quiet for a few minutes, not wanting to be in trouble again, but each of them appeared to be thinking. Jamal was frowning, Jess closed her eyes, Iris drew a picture, Mai stared at the board, and Andrew was biting his pencil. "I know. It makes sense now. It's not diversity, it's Divers City," Jamal exclaimed. "Where's that?" Andrew seemed interested in the suggestion. "I don't know, but maybe it's new and important. Maybe all the rich people live there and want us to celebrate or something." Jamal was sounding increasingly unsure. "Does this mean we have a party and invite people? Who do we invite?" Jess tried to lead them back to whatever the topic was. It wasn't very clear, and the discussion seemed to be stagnating. "Everybody. We invite everyone." Andrew seemed to like the idea. "Everyone? Who? How?" Mai asked with derision in her tone. "Where is this party being held?" "Why can't this be simple? Why didn't Miss Black explain? I'm confused," was Iris's comment. Just then, Miss Black returned to the room. Every hand in the classroom was raised. It seemed all the students were confused. Miss Black looked surprised as even Iris had her hand raised. "Iris, what is your question?" "Miss Black, we don't know what those two words mean." After 3 attempts, Miss Black said, "We want people to be happy they are different in their own way." "I'm not," said Jamal. The end.